Stop. Yeah, we're going.
Yeah. All right, welcome everybody. I know a couple of you have been here before, so welcome to DCTRL. In Vancouver, we are a community commons space. Kind of run most of this place on the Lightning Network. I know we've been a community hub for blockchain education, mostly Bitcoin, over the last 5 years now. Yeah, so we're always trying to bring a variety of events to the community, always for free, and talk about as many different topics, new and interesting stuff as we can. So tonight I'm here with Andrew, and we've been doing blockchain gaming meetups with blockchaingaming.com for about, which is us, yeah, for about 6 months now. So today we're going a bit of a different route. Usually we have a live guest in, kind of showing off what they're working on, and we have managed to have live guests every time, which for blockchain gaming being so niche is pretty impressive to me. But a lot of the projects are really being worked on, and that's what it comes down to. There's still a lot of work to be done in this kind of niche market. So today we're going to be doing a little bit different. We're going to be playing some blockchain games and kind of seeing what's out there. We're going to go through a couple of the mobile games, which I believe in Silent Andrew is very high ranked.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Rival.
Yeah, he's got rival and everything. So maybe he's going to wreck on the leaderboard a little bit for us. Some of the games that have been around, like kind of have a community, so you can see the more high level stuff. And then we're going to go over to a couple of ETH games that maybe are getting a little bit popular, or have been popular, and have free-to-play modes. And then we're going to start with a couple fresh accounts and kind of run through that. So I believe the games we're playing today are Augmentors, Spells of Genesis, Chibi Fighters, and My Crypto Heroes.
That's right.
And did we get into the other one?
No.
Shout out to Coindroids. Sorry, our password management skills sometimes and transferring of these things.
That's one of the older blockchain games, like literally years old, and we're at that point now. Where a game can be years old in the blockchain gaming space.
Yeah.
Long story short, I need to get my password.
Yeah, so.
Well, we have 4 other games.
And one of the problems is for me, like we could have shown off other stuff, but like there's the streaming computer and it's got you need the private keys of the account that has the game assets of the game you want to play on it, on the computer playing from, or like there's workaround, but like, it all gets really like, we're already streaming from a phone to a computer. We didn't want to add in a second computer that we're also going to stream different games from. Figure like phone was the most practical, so maybe we'll do it next time we do like a play in the future. We'll come set up with a different, more like our assets from games and show more like maybe I guess more mainly referring to like MetaMask and like browser-based games where you like have it's hard to transfer private keys around, like it's not safe, and it's like a community computer and it's like a lot of work. So we'll do that. We'll find a way to do that for a different time. So I guess so what game are we starting with, Andrew?
We'll start with Spells of Genesis.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Spells of Genesis, and Andrew is gonna walk us through like how it works and stuff.
Yeah, Spells of Genesis. Let's see if I can pull this up now. Yeah. The Spells of Genesis was one of the first blockchain games, if you guys remember. It's still on Counterparty, like before Ethereum kind of took over the blockchain gaming market. People have been telling them to switch. I think they're considering it. For now, they still use the Book of Orbs app.
Yeah, let's see if it's working. Well, no, I did screen share. I'll present to everyone.
Yeah, they
no, it's working then. Is that, no? I don't know if that's coming through or not. Well, no, it's here. It's in the app. Cancel. I just don't know if the app is actually broadcasting right now.
But you can pull up the desktop monitor all the time, can't you?
Yeah, this is your phone, right?
Yeah, but this is appearing on the desktop. Just pull up the desktop monitor.
Oh, yeah, you're sneaky. That was, that's clever. What is that?
Screen share.
Share. Your entire screen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how we're going to do it. Not like that. Oh, wait.
No, I got it.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to chip you guys out. So the first blockchain games were all mobile-based. Kind of you could see the reason for that because you've seen a lot of free-to-play games out there, and it's kind of easier to tokenize that concept than like if you're going to tokenize Oblivion or Skyrim, more difficult economically. So you'll find all the first games to be developed were mobile. This first one they made their own blockchain gaming app that lets you manage the assets. So all my SOG cards can be managed in here. You can see them. Please don't rob me. Got the dwarf. I have some cool ones. It's, I used to write for Bitcoin Magazine like years ago, before they changed owners. I covered them and started playing. But you can see that it's a card game. There's Yu-Gi-Oh, there's Magic. This one's on the blockchain. Although its gameplay is more like arcade style. Like this is not a card game you could play physically with cards. The cards, I'll show you what I mean. Let's try booting it up. You'll see like we've had live guests come in. This will probably be a pattern. You're a live guest. 6 months later, your game shows up and we can play it, right? People whose games we're playing now may have been potential guests before. Like these are the older ones. Is what I'm saying. So on my mobile phone, since we're connecting to my device, I didn't have to worry about you guys robbing me. With Chibi Fighters, for example, we would have had to put our MetaMask here in keys. Here I should be safe, theoretically. Don't try me, please. But this is my, as you can see, I've already gotten to all the levels. This game, I'm just going to do an easy level to show you what it's like, to give you a picture. So it's a card game, and as per most card games, your cards have power, defense, and an ability. This is the first level. He's talking shit to me, well, I defeated him a while ago, so I'm not going to listen to him. So now you see where we're getting at the game. This is what I mean when I say this is not a card game that you could play physically with physical cards. See, it's arcade style. The cards, you can see them. I have 4 of them in my deck or hand at any time, and I can choose them strategically with powers that overlap. You know what I mean? But the game is arcade style. I want to kill that guy. I picked a very easy level to show you the first level. Yeah, not so hard. And it's, kind of pinball-esque. If there were other more complicated environmental things to avoid, I might be planning more carefully. Sometimes a little thing will show up, a little coin-looking thing, looks like a pile of coins. Grabbing it will give you a bunch of them. Now, generally speaking, most of the stuff in here is not on the blockchain. All that is the really powerful cards. So all the cards I'm playing with currently are on the blockchain, except the water one you see in the far right. He's not leveled up all the way, which means they're blockchainized is the term they use. You press blockchainize. I could show you, actually, after this match. So I guess, again, these are not on-chain. These are kind of analogous to in-game money in any standard game. But with these, I can buy cards that I can use to acquire blockchain-based assets. Standard quests, these quests wanted me to defeat Minion Slayer, destroy 40 enemies. I did, thank you. Let's pick a harder level. I'm trying to remember one with, the last level. Dark Creator. You see you see what that is in his hand? The block. The Genesis block. That's the backstory of this game. He has the Genesis block. I want that. Give me your Genesis block. Now this one has spikes and stuff, right? So now it's getting a bit more complicated. Ouch. I might lose because I did not pick an optimal team for this level. I just wanted to... Ouch. Yeah, I already lost a card. You could see one of my guys died. I'm probably going to lose. Let's see. Ouch. Yeah, this is over. You guys get the idea. One thing that's interesting, people have been trying to do cross-pollination of game items. Because, right, when it's on the blockchain, just so much as it can register in this game, it can register in other games as well. They also connect to the blockchain. I have a card like that. The Sarutobi card. I'll show you. Any of y'all played Sarutobi? This is the card he gave me.
Oh, I never
played Sarutobi. So he has another game called Sarutobi. He's working on Sarutobi 2 right now. Just like, he's popular following him. But he was friends with these guys, as were also Age of Rust. So some of these blockchain game devs are friends. So they cross-pollinate their items. So this guy, his Sarutobi item, he has his own game, but the item works in this game too. And I actually tweeted at him. I was like, can I have one? He was like, well, okay, but first you got to download Takara, which is a geo-locating app thing. And he put my 0-2B card at a local library using this Geo app. Yeah, it's a car app. So he actually said, yeah, you can have one, but you have to get to your local library in 30 minutes. So and I kid you not, I bolted out. It was possible. I got there in like 5. Keeps doing that. It's going to make me keep pressing that, I guess. But you get the idea. Cross-pollination of items encourages cooperation between these developers, and it's fun. Here's another interesting example of a thing that happened. This card. They were launching another game called, I can't say it because it's French, Autable. Yeah, that's not the point. The point is they're launching another game, and for that, they actually built a level in this game that was, and they already removed the level. So now you can't get the card I have. Because, so there was another level to the top right, highest to the top. And it was a level that was meant to advertise their new game. Beating this level enough, if you did well enough, would earn you this card. So I did, but now the level's gone. You can't get it, and I have it. But also, that game was discontinued. So I have this item. Well, not like indefinitely. It's just the crypto winner hit them hard. They paused. So it may never happen. They're saying it may or may not happen. So now I own this item. It works in SOG already, and it's going to work in this other game that may or may not eventually exist. See it gets all fuzzy. I'm going to pull up the other augmenters now. This one's interesting.
Yeah, I will say a lot of the games, like when there was like with the bear market, changed like things for all of crypto. So a lot of these companies, like there's this thing what I call an IJO. It's like an ICO, but instead of getting a coin, you get a JPEG. You got like a digital sword or like a chest full of digital items, but you basically just buy JPEG. So it's an initial JPEG offering. So you buy these JPEGs in advance, and you hope that one day they will be useful in a game that you like the idea of. It was like meta ICO, and like that's how a lot. But it's really good because it gives game developers a way to fund their game and give early rewards to early backers. But the problem is, the concept of a blockchain game is like digital scarcity and fairness. You give the early adopters an advantage. It's really hard to balance that advantage around future development. You're basically got to hand it to your early people, right? So to build a really fair blockchain game, it's a really difficult process.
Yeah.
So a lot of the ones like got over their head with sales, and then they're like trying to build their game around the item set. They're like, the balance mechanics. They're like having to do that when the items are out there, and like the game's not done yet. And they have to build around what they've already done and move things around a lot. Like they're adding layers of complexity. So it's like
that happens more with ETH games.
Yeah, ETH games have got messy because ETH got ultra pumped, right?
Well, so the games, the mobile games I'm showing you, Spells of Genesis and Augmentors, require no investment to play. You can win tokens, but there's never any point ever where it asks you to send it money. No transactions like that. But the browser games will show you later. Basically, I think IGOing requires you to adopt that pay-to-play aspect.
Yeah, and that's the problem, yeah.
So this game actually, and the last game I showed you required no investment. I invested nothing except my time.
So you can win the assets over time, and then you can still trade them and sell them.
This one's interesting. They openly admitted they were inspired by Spells of Genesis, but they're backed by Vinny Lincoln.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Go him. He's kind of he gets hated on, right?
I know he did this. I forget what he did beside this.
I think he showed a really shitty ICO, and everyone
before that, he was famous for mainstream.
Oh, okay.
Before blockchain.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know. I think I remember he did an ICO, so it was like everyone hated, but everyone hated all the ICOs. So it's like, come on.
Yeah. But this game is Augmentors. So their original plan was Counterparty as well, because they were inspired by Spells of Genesis, but they've already claimed they're switching to ERC20, which is kind of necessary. They're going to find that there's a lot of community pressure from your exchanges and other partners and liquidators to use ERC20.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I feel like they're like dropping the ball with like all the ETH not being able to keep up with like the user base. I feel like it's affecting it, and like it's.
What's key in this point is that it's less expensive to list an ERC20 asset or token than it is to list other types.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
because
to
they
list.
standardized the process of listing an ERC20 token. I once asked an exchange. I shouldn't name exchange. I once asked one, what blockchain should we use for a token? He said, you should use Ethereum, because if you don't, I will refuse to list your token ever.
All different amounts of work for every token. Like, it's not like you install third-party tokens.
Reduces the standardization of the process, right? ERC20, they've completely nailed it down. He presses a button, launching ERC20 token.
Yeah.
So you just get less pushback from all of your business B2B partners.
Yeah, first mover is so important.
This game was in development a little longer than SOG. See, it's in real time. It has battles. I'll just go straight into a battle. Battle.
Look at that. Was that dollar pricing I saw?
Was it? Where?
I just saw.
So this is you have attack spells and shield spells. Generally speaking, shields cost less than attacks. So if you can shield, you can. You see what I mean? It's not, and most RPGs or games come down to energy efficiency or mana efficiency.
Yeah.
In this case, mana efficiency doesn't lend itself to trying to overpower a shield. Wait till it goes or bypass it somehow. This guy's probably going to lose. It's not my rival. My rival pops up and be like, oh shit, everyone shut up. But it's not him. This guy's done.
Maybe he's watching.
Are you out there, Walker? I'm ready.
Yeah, we need a showdown.
I would love it if he signed on during our broadcast.
Okay, so are your moves, so what's tokenized about this game? Like your moves or just your character?
Characters. And this is what's interesting. Because the tokens can't be static because your characters level up over time.
Yeah.
So your token has to be capable of variability, which is not standard to other tokens, right? The token is always the same. These tokens are adjusted over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gain experience. See, that's really hard to do on Ethereum. That's really hard to do on Ethereum.
Why on Ethereum in particular?
Because when you commit something to the blockchain, it takes gas. So when you commit something to the blockchain, it takes gas every time, right? But if you don't commit it to the blockchain every time, then you'll just get overrun by bots, just like gaining experience off chain.
So
and then you do one commit later.
This game has a central server to prevent that.
Yeah. So this is a game that just a lot of the ETH games try to like make you play more with MetaMask instead of handling it in the background and then giving you the option later to be like, oh, now that I've leveled up some assets, I want to sell them to other players, or to be able to say, hey, instead of playing this game normally, I'm going to start by just loading up my MetaMask and buying some items and getting into it. But like, it wasn't standardized that you'd always get a free set of items. Now the games we're going to play tonight, we're going to go to Chibi Fighters and My Crypto Heroes. Those are both have implemented a free-to-play model. I'm not sure how the transition period works. So far, the counterparty games, which were first, and to be quite fair, like people put a lot more thought into this stuff in the early days, and a lot more like became like more fast and loose over time. Like it really did. So it was a lot like harder to develop on like counterparty versus like Ethereum, like made its own language, and it was like it promoted itself for being smart contracts and tokens. And then like everything, once it started going and picked up speed, there was so much Ethereum development, and a lot of the teams really didn't get it, and what they were supposed to be focusing on and why. They were just like blockchain, right? So like there's still like a lot of kinks to be worked out.
I'll show you guys something.
So these games like chose the full off model, right? Whereas the ETH games, it comes down to like how much do you use the chain and why do you use the chain, and then like cutting out the rest, right? So some games need everything on chain. Right? I like that kind of stuff, but those basically come down to gambling a lot of the time. Because if you're dealing with a chain, you're dealing with value transfer. So when you're dealing with value transfer, you need more value transfer back, or you have to stop playing. So that's like you're dealing with value transfer, and you require yourself to get more value transfer back. You kind of just define gambling, unfortunately, right? So that's got to be considered, and that's something that's kept a lot of games like held back a little bit. From even just having a marketplace for your tokens, it's hard to get in the App Store. They're like, hey Apple, don't worry, we're gonna trade like tons of ether worth of fake swords all day. The Apple doesn't like that. So like a lot of these developers have been limited and like have to work.
Fuck Apple.
I know, right? And they'd have to work around the limitations like put on them, right? So like
Apple basically hates utility tokens. Their requirement for listing, that's why SOG used to have actually their in-game coin was their bit crystal. Apple made them not do that.
And they basically just surf out and then we're like, okay, well we can either lose all this development time and lose half our market, or we can just keep building the game we built, you know? Like how much they made the decision between, are we trying to force a blockchain into a game, or are we building a game and try to utilize the blockchain how we can?
From my perspective, Apple's like, we demand you give your utility token less utility.
Yeah,
we want it to be less useful.
A 30%
I don't
tax.
want that. Why would I want that as the token holder? Like, someone help me here, please. Like, you're like demanding they make my token worthless as a requisite for inclusion.
Yeah, to add a minus 30% transfer fee. Yeah, that's pretty rough.
So these matches, you bet on them. If I lose, I'll lose coins. That sucks. I'm not gonna lose though. It's not my rival. I'll know.
So do you always lose to your rival? Have you ever beat him?
Twice.
Ooh, how many times has he beat you? Like too many to count?
About 10.
Oh, okay. That's a pretty good rivalry. Yeah, you got some coming back to do.
It's like every time, you don't know who you're getting paired with, it says mystery until it finally decides. Then when it says Walker, I get this heartbeat. It's him. It's him.
Called out.
But then the coins you earn in this game, you something like that?
So in this game, similar to Spells of Genesis, they were forced to not use their cryptocurrency as the in-game coin under threat of Apple delisting.
And so what you could do is you could level up a character and sell it, or you could buy some
So the characters are tokens.
And then I guess if you want
They're very particular. You cannot so you can't directly purchase a character. And there's a degree to which Apple wants to give you loopholes and lets you go through them. They have liability concerns. You have to understand, and I use World of Warcraft as an example. When their auction house got too big, the IRS showed up. They said, does this count as sales tax? So Blizzard said, no, of course not. All of this is not real money. And they maintain this illusion. But if you allow a direct link, Apple's admitting that that's not true. Right?
You can buy monthly WoW time now for in-game gold.
Really?
Yep. And apparently you can buy, I don't know, a few years ago apparently, and you can buy gift cards, Blizzard gift cards with in-game gold.
Wow.
Apparently.
Just
spread the word. Just spread the word.
Aside from the character, you also have spells that are collectible, level upable. You're in mine. Here's the leaderboard. Every month, we all want to kill as many noobs as possible. Each noob killed gives 800 gold, and whoever gets the most gets the fancy red orb. That's my rival at the top, Walker.
Oh, Walker. Okay, so you're up there. You're number 3. Is this global?
Yeah.
How many people are like playing?
This is the top in the world. There's me, I'm 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's okay.
Canada.
Who's Bristow?
I don't know. He let Walker beat him. I was mad.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, I watched him pass him. Now Walker he's too powerful, so for the season competition where it's by kills, I know I can't beat Walker, so I hide in the shadows. When he's sleeping, I come out and I slay noobs.
Oh, you said noobs at night, yeah.
And then when he wakes up, I'm nowhere, and I'm playing. That's what I've been doing.
So how much of a rank difference? Oh, he's way up there, right? 75, 66, 22.
To give you some perspective on his power, let's go to top.
So does this just mean he plays hardcore? Like plays more than you, or did he spend more money?
He has plays hardcore.
Like where does he get it? Yeah, okay, but could he spend? Could you just
There is one way to buy into
characters?
this game. One way to buy into this game. Here. And this is analogous to like.
I saw that go up. I saw dollars.
Yeah.
That part
goes to your phone bill.
That's the part. It
goes to your phone bill, just like standard. To be honest, if most games that are free to play make the majority of their money from a 1% of players with mama's credit card. Go and be like, oh, I want the nice monster, and they lie for like 12. And it's the same in this game. Honestly, that's what's happening here.
Your target audience is that whiny kid.
Yeah. Well, they need players for him to play with.
Yeah.
So they have a target revenue audience, the whiny kid.
Yeah.
And some guy to beat him a lot and force the whiny kid to buy an expensive monster.
Oh God. That does translate pretty well to mobile games I've played and that I currently play.
I think that gives a pretty good picture of Augmentors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut down the mobile.
All right. Yeah. We're gonna try and get the let's get the other thing going.
I have the links open already.
Okay. I'll do my Crypto Heroes. That's a little newer, and then you can do Chibi Fighters. I haven't actually played Chibi Fighters. It was one of the ones I was around when it launched, but I bought so many JPEGs. You have no idea. So I was like, how many more can I buy for these games that aren't out yet? And then once the game comes out, because you never knew what it was, you're like, oh, I didn't buy the pre-sale and get the more powerful one. Like, ugh. And then you know all game activity generally trends down over time. So then if you come in without the pre-sale and a game launch, you end up like weaker than everyone else who's been like itching to play and is more into it. And then generally, because games cost gas to play, like people kind of fall off every couple days. There's like player losses, right? Like so, like if your game launches with like this blockchain gaming, so you'd be good if you got 300 to 500 for your launch week. That'd be like super successful launch of a blockchain game. 300 to 500, that's pretty good.
What is that?
You gotta hit the stop button. Yeah. Yeah, so if you had 300 to 500 at launch, that'd be good, but over time, a lot of those players are just testing it. There's somebody who bought in the crowd sale, and they're like, oh my god, why did I spend full ether on these, robot parts, or like swords, right? But it's at the same time, like, so you keep playing, but over time it gets down, so it becomes like a lot of these games became like kind of these things, like it takes like, at 1 to 2 ETH to like play a dumb game for a little while, right? Which at different points in ETH's history is like, yeah, man, like Canadian money too. 2 ETH was like up to like 3,000 technically, right? When it was bubble topping at the time. That was fun. Yeah, just wasted it all on blockchain games, man.
All right, I think I got it set up. You ready to show them heroes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit screen. You got it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, now we're gonna go to the ETH games. These are more likely to require you to invest to play than some of these mobile counterpart games we've seen. I haven't played this one yet. He's shown us this one. So this one, the owners are Japanese, and at first they actually didn't get a translator. I just gave up and decided not to wait until they got a translator because Chibi Fighters didn't make me. But everyone acts actually on Death Radar. It's one of the highest, most popular.
Yeah, a lot of the Asian games have just done better. Like that's why I actually like.
Skill in crypto.
That's why I have more hope for Tron than people think I should have, because like it's got the Asian community. They got a big dev fund. They took the EVM from Ethereum and they just put it on a completed consensus model. Whereas Ethereum's gonna like dance around sharding for the next like 3 or 4 years, trying to like solve all their problems and build this really complicated system. Tron was like, all right, we're gonna take the EVM, we're gonna put it on delegated proof of stake, and we're gonna do a big ass ICO. And there wasn't a lot of like super innovation, right? But at the same time, like they took two like things that didn't exist together, put them together in a working way. And like blockchain doesn't care really like what system works. So while Ethereum's like trying to solve scaling, is the community and like the economy at large gonna wait for 3 to 4 years just to get access to an EVM with sharding instead of delegated proof of stake, when like sharded proof of stake isn't like a proven economically viable thing yet? So who knows, right? So like I got a little hate for like my not hate of Tron, because they literally like did some some whatever stuff over the time, but like they delivered it in mainnet with like 3-second blocks and an EVM, so we can take our Solidity contracts, and the economics become completely different when you're not paying for gas. I don't actually know the Tron model. It might have something to do with like staking your Tron for Tron power. That might be real. Don't quote me, but I think that might be real. Yeah. So they got an EVM that works, on a mainnet with value transfer and like pretty much zero fees, like for all intents and purposes, 0 fees. Whereas like Ethereum's not there yet, right? They're still proof of work chain, and they don't plan on staying that. So they're like an in progress thing. So it's like, but they got all the devs, right? They got all the devs. The Ethereum has insane development behind it. Like all the conferences, like the hackathons, like 1,000+ turnouts and stuff for the big ones. So yeah.
Show us the game.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh.
I don't want to use a Google account. I want to sign in with Wallet. There we go.
See if it's something like Chibi lets you have a free character. I don't know this person. No. Player name. So this is the account creation process.
Pretty smooth so far. Where am I? I'm at total asset value. I got 0 gum.
What's it got?
Oh, like I know. Come on, man. Okay, so the idea is you get a team of a few dudes. You get multiple teams. You can buy better guys, obviously, right?
They all look the same.
Yeah, so I have the free people.
Right.
That's like the starter pack, right? When you go to the, I guess the market would be a good place to see some of the other options. Apparently, there's some gum sales. So you can buy gum from the market. Sorry, I know there's, where's the, Heroes Market. There you go. I don't want to go to the gum market. So I think they're all named after people, historical figures. So I've seen Western names. Those seem like people I would have heard of.
Pascal.
Yeah. Those seem like people I wouldn't have heard of, but yeah.
He's a science guy.
So some of them are looking, this one's 1 per user for 500 gum, everyone can buy it. And then this one's, this one's got these have limited supply. So you want, and I think when these run out, they just put new people up. And I think I've seen like Genghis Khan and stuff, just like famous historical people. And like, so it kind of has that thing where like, oh, there's only, if you're into like Zhao Yun, right? There's only 63 Zhao Yuns left, right? You wanna get that guy, right?
Is gum their native token? That must be.
Yeah, gum is assumingly their native token because you buy your gum with ETH. Yeah, they do have they didn't have an English site for a while, so I only played this game when I was just like, okay, I'm always interested in the mechanics and how they deliver the game. Yeah, so I don't want to buy any of that though. And then there's you can duel other players, I believe. Yeah, so these guys are like level 80. So this guy's got 2 Ivan the Terribles and 1 Hanzo Hattori. If you know Hanzo, that's from
I want an Ivan.
no, Hanzo from the fighting game, really old fighting game with ninjas from the arcade. I was a child.
That's not a historical character.
That counts. That counts.
In your like childhood history.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the game, but yeah, Ivan Terrible, and who else we got? Yeah, the Brothers Grimm. So they kind of count, right? So he's like historical mythical characters, and it seems like all the top people are like level 80.
Brothers Grimm.
Yeah. You see Genghis Khan? There he is,
Nice.
level 97, and then this guy's got the noob stuff too. Yeah, Ethereumon. So Ethereumon was another game that came out for Ethereum. I think I have some Ethereumons, but it was a game that used the experience building mechanic. So this game in some way I know does, but we're going to try and take our dudes on a battle. If we can, yeah, or we'll go on a quest. I think that sounds right.
Quest.
So it has like the recommended level for your characters. It's still in like a new phase. So let's see if the raids aren't added yet.
DCTRL. That's a cool. Have you guys heard of that? It's a Greek, it's an ancient Greek clock.
Okay, so Antikythera. Well, we'll go to that one then. So you can, there's certain items that only drop in here, and then there's certain enemies you're going to go and face when you're in there.
It's very similar to Chibi Fighter.
Yeah, a lot of the games. Okay, so basically what happened was that Etherbots kind of did it first, but everyone had the same idea. Etherbots did it first for ETH, and it was like fun and all, but it became like apparent right away that it was an XP like gas equals experience, and if you don't make gas equal experience, then the problem is you can just keep playing and then like fight yourself a million times, bought up a bunch of accounts, and like then it's like it's just abused, right? And the blockchain's supposed to stop that abuse, but at the end of the day, you end up just charging people gas. You basically pay the miners to like have your tokens level up.
You need proof of player.
Yeah, you need proof of player. Yeah, so we got to solve identity on the blockchain first, which I think is going to solve bigger problems before it solves my tokens. But I want to solve my tokens, so we're going to go on this adventure and see how these people come up with it. Okay, all our teams are the same, but I'm going to choose team number 3. Now let's just go team number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, let's go. So I did do a little battle. So basically, it sends you through the dungeon as three battles. So other games you'd play, like you'd send your guys in, but you wouldn't send them in against against a computer, like against the dungeon. You'd send them into the contract, then another player would send his in, and then they would fight, and then one of you would gain more. So that became like the, even though you're paying for experience, if you outskill the other player on an average more, you will gain more experience for paying less money. So we're ready. We're going to go through this battle. I wonder if there's sound. I think there is, actually. I think it's not terrible. But I don't think we have sound right now, just due to the nature of streaming everything. So yeah, we're... Oh! Take that. Yeah, they might hate that. Yeah, so I'm not going to click skip. Actually, it's not bad, right?
I like the music.
Yeah, I'm going to scroll. Oh, so it's... Yeah, this is how they do it. So I'm scrolling down, and it's, so because the game's on the blockchain, it's technically already happened. Once the transaction is confirmed on chain, the result is known to the world. But because it's a game, they want to basically reveal the experience. So how the game works on the back end. Actually, I want to kind of turn this down.
I think it's cool music.
Yeah, no, it's because it's right next to the microphone. Yeah, it's pretty great, right? So, so what happens is, I kind of lost my train of thought there, but yeah. So when it's on the blockchain, it takes your tokens and the enemy tokens and kind of runs generally this is the way they work, and runs like a calculation against each other. So, and it'll be like every time this calculation happens, like someone does some damage to the other one, and it just like runs kind of like picture like basic stats like D&D, your initiative and your strength. You know, your initiative is how often you hit, and your strength is how hard you hit. And it just takes those two stats and just like runs the numbers up in time until it dies. So it'd be like a simple blockchain calculation that wouldn't take a lot of gas. That people should talk about. People always overcomplicate things. The blockchain's got to be elegant.
So then would you say that, like, even
I want.
before you scroll
Right.
through, like, even before you scroll through the characters, the results already determined because they would have those calculations already.
Yeah, yeah. And there'd be a randomization. Generally, you want, so you can't just do two numbers, or else there's no point. You know the calculation, you know the result beforehand, even if it was all fixed. So you use something like the block hash to like do like a random number that's like involved somewhere along the way. So every time, no one knows the block hash of the next block. It's like a really random number. So you just use that and like seed it somewhere in your equation. If you're, so that way you add some like randomness to fighting each other, or to like some other aspect of something that happens in your game.
We should know this game is way more decentralized than most blockchain games are. Almost comparable to Hunter Coin. Like
In a way, a lot of the Ethereum games.
this one in particular.
Is it though?
Chibi Fighters, a lot of what you said, for example, about it being predetermined and on-chain based is not true.
The experience farming is in Chibi Fighters, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
but not every. For example, your tokens on chain, but it's stats like attack, defense, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. There's a server somewhere storing that, and there's just a number on chain, and that number corresponds to a place where the server knows where that number means. Now, this is actually one of the most decentralized games on the market right now, technically.
Yeah, I'm not sure if when you're up and running with this one, if you can play directly from the contract. So the kind of goal of like the game in a long run is it should be really like if it's a blockchain game, what matters is how you utilize this whole blockchain thing into your mechanics. So like the end goal, at least from my perspective, is a game should be playable directly from interacting with the blockchain. Like if you have like the bit of technical ability, you should be able to run your own node for whatever chain your game is on, and on whatever interface you want. Of your choosing, you should be able to interact with the game and play it if you understand it. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to like economic models and like competition over rewards and all that. So technically you don't really need the graphics, and like a lot of the times you can strip a lot of that away, right? Like in CryptoKitties, it's all about getting the rarer combinations. The reality, you don't need to see the pictures. You could just have all the traits read, like you could be flipping through the tokens as like hashes and just like having a little like your own interface that reads out to you what they are, has your own price thing. You could even play CryptoKitties directly from the contract without even seeing the pictures.
make it cell shaded in one version and normal pixels in another. Right, it just changes the graphics.
I gotta say something. I've actually one of the things I don't think I've ever mentioned on stream is when I talked to the CryptoKitties, one of the CEO guy, Matt. One of the things he said that he was disappointed didn't happen was more people making their own art for it, because there was all that talk about the art and like ownership and like
They didn't incentivize the process properly.
yeah. So basically, CryptoKitties had a thing where they did some ownership stuff, but like used trademark law and like were a little sketchy about like who owns what. And what you're allowed to do with the art that you bought and that expensive cat token, and it was never really resolved. But one of the things that he said to me that really stuck around was that he was like in the initial phase they were hoping kind of more people would make their like completely own like versions of this, because they basically the way they made the art come about from the token by like having the token represent like a bunch of things on a picture and then making those pictures interchangeable with each other. And then deriving more pictures from the pictures above is like so clever. So clever. It's such a good use of blockchain. And then like the things that came after it, like, a lot of them were copycats, and a lot of them were, they were similar things, right? Copycats, or they didn't come from people who really understood, and whoever came with, like, the guys who came up with the original, like, mechanics of it, like, they spent a lot of time thinking about, like, when blockchain, why blockchain, what blockchain. Yeah, there's one, it's when, not when, it's like why blockchain, what blockchain, yeah. Why is the most important question, right? Sometimes, like with the games, they start out wanting, hey, we're gonna go fight the next round. It's kind of the same. We get the music again now.
I like the music.
It's done really well, right? Yeah. Yeah, and my dude's leveled up, as you can see. Yeah. Oh, you gotta stop. Boom. Yeah, they did it really good, little 8-bit style.
So it's trying to load the images as you scroll through.
Yeah, it seems if I get here, it centers it. Oh, there we go, yeah. Oh, I did a special move or so. He did move on me.
It's kind of fancy, actually.
Yeah, it's done pretty clever. But like at the same time, like these games aren't really getting mass adoption anytime soon. Like, there's still like it's just like back out in like it's in the development phase of like the stuff is where it's the most exciting.
I'm watching this one, man.
Yeah, like a bunch of them are I just crushed. It was already over. Sorry, I stopped scrolling but didn't go to the win. Yeah, I just crushed. Yeah. Oh, I might have won some gum. Okay, we'll just do the last battle because it's a set of 3. And then there's the button for people like me where you just skip right to the bottom. Like, I want to know the... Yeah, Mozart, dude. We got one more guy. Take him out. Oh, I didn't even kill him in one hit. Weak. Okay, I got him. I'm the champion.
Kind of reminds me of Pokemon.
Yeah. I just got the feel.
Victory sound there.
Yeah.
Probably would have played it.
Okay, it's funny. What I just did there, like testing on a blockchain game, at like a lot of points in ETH Gaming in 2018, that would have cost me like a minimum half an ether. Like just to go through that process, because there's like no test net. There's just like you gotta pay for the tokens if you want a team, if you want to play, or at least like maybe like 0.1 or something. Like you would have spent like 0.1 and then like a gas for it, like just to test out a game, which like half of 2018 was like at least $50, right? $50 to try out a game, and that's like all you get. Then you pay gas to keep going, and then by then you tried it, and you're like, okay, cool, I understand the mechanics, I've learned about it. And then all of a sudden you get this like gross collection of tokens.
You heard
See, most of these games, another problem with the economic model in ETH games. Yeah. Is because they cost gas to play, there has to be an expectation from players that they're going to get some money back. Usually that comes in the form of the auction house. But the problem with that is the overall game economy has got a fixed theoretical pool of ether, and as the gas money sucks that out of the ether that is potentially being used to play the game, the only money being made is going from one player to another, and it's like a hot potato game, but the potatoes keep getting smaller. Because basically most people kind of have a limit of how much they're willing to put in, right? And have like how much they own versus, you know, like how much they're willing. Well, kind of this one costs a lot to do moves, so I'm spending a lot of gas. So most people have their limits. So over time, if the only way to pull money out of a game is to sell to the whales or sell to other players, there's no one stealing their mom's credit card for ETH gaming. You just gotta hope you like sell to like an early adopter who like happens to want to throw around some ETH on this game. You know? Yeah. So, like you catch when an early adopter's dumping on the market, you buy up the like digital Lambos. Well, yeah, I mean, you buy up the digital Lambos when the whale gets sick of the game and you flip them. I totally did that once. It's like my bear market play. I bought a digital Lambo and I like paid for my gaming habits for like an extra few weeks, just because you flip the Lambo and like cool, you got half an ether and you feel like a baller, you know, like from 0.25 to 0.75. But then that's just fees for your next like month and a half of gaming, right? So like while you do these things, you just gotta try to stay on the alert for like if you're paying attention, not to be like, okay, that's not way too good of a deal. I know I can like get some free games out of that. But it comes down if you're not doing that, and you're not like savvy enough or following everything enough, have your own judgment on what's going to be good enough, then like it's really easy to just lose ether, which like everyone's done. Like I have so many bad tokens. The bear market got a lot of people in different ways, you know. Like I was just throwing my stuff away. What little I had, I was like, no man, but this game is so cool.
Is there more features to show us?
Yeah, actually that's about it. So I couldn't find the marketplace for the. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it shows my level up, and I got a scroll. Yeah, and then so now I've done. Yeah, so now I can pick the other dungeons, kind of the same thing. I'll say like if you can do it again, you can do it like much faster. So let's just say I was paying attention. You can also pick the level of the dungeon, like you can level it up. So like there's basically 4 dungeons, and then as you level your characters up, you're just picking harder ones, right? But if you were like really impatient, like I normally would be, I'd just like boom, right? Next, you crushed, yeah, it's done, right? Boom. Oh, you can click on it and it goes down. That's much smoother. So I was scrolling, you can just click on it and it moves down. Yeah. And then one more. It's 3 rounds. So my dudes are leveling up. They look like they're a couple levels up. Yeah, so you can go through a lot faster. I got a necklace this time, right? So you can see how like people might automate this process. You know, maybe if someone's a little bit tech savvy, they could find a way to like make the mouse click itself. Who knows, right? Maybe reCAPTCHA is not quite good enough. And then yeah, you can do other people. Yeah, I want to see the market, but yeah, trade probably. So this is other. Yeah, okay. So here you go. This is the real market. So this is the people selling their stuff, and their market is in gum, which is their own token. It was 0.1 ether for 1,000 gum. So 10,000 gum is 1 ether, or is 10,000? Yeah. So like you're seeing 3 ether based on the prices, but you also like that's the sale price of gum, but you also earn gum while playing, and then you probably have to do a commit yours. You couldn't see, then that's where the blocking cheaters would come in. If you're giving gum for gaining experience, people are going to be like, sweet, I'm going to make so many accounts, and I'm going to get so much free gum and not do any work for it, right? So they sell the gum, but I'm not sure if you can get it either way. And I don't think I have any assets yet because, yeah, I don't.
Because you just made this account.
Yeah. And then you can buy swords and stuff. See? These are the JPEGs. So if
I want one.
Yeah, so since this game's out, it's not like an initial JPEG offering. It's like you can just buy JPEGs. They're utility JPEGs, right? They will make you go through the dungeons better if you spend like 140 gum. That's like literally pennies, right?
It's not a JPEG anymore.
Yeah, and now it's not a JPEG anymore. It's a token now, and now as they can say like this is a good example of like literal microtransactions. Like 140 gum is like 0.014 ether kind of thing, or 0.014 ether, which is like well less than $1. So it's like a standardized microtransaction in the game. So this is a game you can play. You can kind of build up your dudes. You can buy stuff for like cheap. I'm sure there's some cheaper stuff than that. 110 is like less than $1, right? So like it's like reasonable. It's like to do this for like normal games. And the idea being that over time, like games will find the best way to kind of implement this stuff. It'll actually do what it's supposed to do, not try and shove a blockchain on it or like shove it inside a blockchain, like really merging the two and like getting better over time. So do you want to do Chibi? I haven't actually played Chibi Fighters.
Yeah, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, and then when we're talking to them, you actually like,
Chibi is very similar to this game. Although it has no sound, but the graphics are better. And it's less decentralized. That's a pretty quick summary. I'm going to make a free account. It's going to hook up to our MetaMask. So when you make a free account, similar, it's going to give you a shitty character. Let's claim our
Do you
shitty
even need to
character.
pay the gas?
Not for the shitty character, no.
Okay.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. You can read this stuff. I already know.
Oh yeah, and Chibi's one of the games that's porting to Tron, or that has a Tron version.
Already did.
They already did.
We'll see this here.
So is there 2 versions of the game?
No. So wait,
It's just,
hold on.
Oh, it's Tron now. See, and that Chibi was one of the bigger ones, right? A lot of people put a lot of time into that, building up their Chibis. I did skip this game because I already played experience skating games and I was jaded by them.
Email?
No.
Just use mine.
Yeah, I was already jaded by the experience skating games and I kind of saw the flaw in it of always being like, you could pay for experience and it's just buying experience. And it's like, there's not even a free-play model.
Oh, okay, that's not.
But yeah, I did skip this one, but I did hear it was like it did have some way more staying power than the other games that had been like this. This would have been the choice to make like 6-8 months ago if you wanted to like pick the blockchain game that was going to last and you were going to have a little bit of a community to like keep playing on. And they ended up even switching from Ethereum to Tron, and like that's just because like.
Hey, Alex, you know what this is?
Yeah, that's ad blocker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll just start explaining. Because he's talking about Tron. If you're, yeah, it's pulled up on the screen there. So this is already a dual system, right? Similar to what he said, where there was gum and it was like 1,000 gum was an ether, it was pegged. Similar here, but they're ETH crystals, right? And see if you click. If I had 32 ETH shards, I could turn them into an ETH crystal. If I had 3 ETH crystals, I could turn them into ether. About 50 cents worth right now.
So did they basically, does the prices of these adjust based on the price of Tron Ether?
This is where it gets tricky, right?
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
The prices are listed in Ether originally. Now they've added Tron, right? The price of Tron diverges from the price of Ether. There's a price mismatch on the system. I actually haven't experimented with their Tron marketplaces yet. I'm not entirely sure. I've just been killing stuff. They have a cool sense of humor about this game. We have to claim our chibi. It's hold on. Let's find our chibi. Account.
Oh, you gotta verify. Look at that.
Sign.
Yeah, so the way Ethereum MetaMask generally works is like logging
There
in.
we go.
Just basically, MetaMask asks you to like, do you want this site to know for sure that you own this address? Like you gotta sign it. You know, you're like, I own this address. So like it kind of becomes an issue when you play
I
multiple.
forgot. So when you first create a chibi, it's a baby. I can't kill people with it.
That's terrible.
Crush
No crushing. See, am I getting a crush?
Come on, baby. Kill something. Be a good baby. Babies kill stuff all the time.
Yeah, well, go through some of the features.
All right. These are where we go on adventures, where we send our baby off to deserts and caves to gather minerals for us. You know, similar. So, and here off chain we have gold. And this game is less decentralized than My Crypto Heroes, what he showed you. There's still a lot on chain. Here, this is like, so you can make chibis fight each other or make them engage in activities that take a period of time, give a reward. What I'm showing you now are the various activities that take a period of time and give a reward. Various ones, scavenging. You can go to the hunt. You go here, your chibis will fight each other. Let's see, my chibi's a baby. I wish I had made. I wonder if I could.
How long does it take?
I think an hour.
Anyone have any Ethereum to sell? Anyone got Ether on them?
$20. Well, I could show you some other chibis that aren't babies, but so check this out. The butcher. This one's interesting. It says you don't have any chibis, but if you did have a chibi and you launch this, little chests will appear on the floor, and this one's multiplayer. So like, you get a ticket. Your ticket is a piece of meat. It doesn't. It's a silly game, and when you use it, it puts you in this level, and it drops coins, little in-game ones that aren't that important, but also ETH crystals. So everyone wants to play this mini game. You can get real money playing this game. But also, if your chibi is better, the chests that show up with crystals will have more in them, right? So when a guy who has a really nice chibi shows up, he's like, "Hey, you guys want to play with me?" We're all like, "Yes, me, please." I'm going to show you one. Hold on. Multiplayer. Yeah, it has many different. This one is a co-op multiplayer mode. Okay. As soon as this is activated, you're going to see it'll start falling like chest, apple. You're going to whack them. The apples give you more time until it ends. I see the chests open either ETH shards or coins.
So they're giving you like mini game options, different things to do other than just like fight each other.
Yeah. But what I really like about this game is they put a bit more creativity into the character design. Like, let's try to look at our chibi, my warrior. Our warriors. Oh, right, my chibi's too young. Jeez, we can't even view him? All right, hold on.
Is your stuff on your laptop?
Well,
Do you have your ETH on your phone, your chibis?
I sent myself a link so I can show you another chibi, just in case. So the chibis, you can view anyone's chibi. Again, these are the dangers. I mean, I'm pseudonymous. It doesn't say Andrew Wagner at this address is chibi, but it is.
Yeah, and especially with Ethereum, you end up using the same address for 4 games. You're like the same guy. And it's actually really advantageous and just smoother to use a new address for every game. But then it becomes a pain in the ass to move the Ethereum around. So make sure you always have what you need to make sure you're buying the right items in the right account. To make sure when you go to the website and browse the marketplace, you're actually like on your account for that. You switch to that address.
Do not show again. Oh, that's my chibi.
So that's you?
That's one. I have two chibis.
Nice name.
This is one of my chibis. Well, so you don't choose what they look like. It gives you a chibi, and you have to decide. And I looked at him; he looks like a creeper to me. And you choose this little message. I would fry you with a can. He looks like he would fry you with a can.
Looks like Dracula.
I know, right? He looks. Now this is my better chibi. Let me remember the number. Sent myself the URLs. So again, they're randomly generated graphics. So
do they use this system where like the art is derived in some way from the token?
yeah, I use my other chibi. Abdullah.
Yeah.
Allahu Akbar.
No.
Yeah,
You went there. Of course you did.
of course I did. Well, now check out
You
this
are a
one.
proud owner.
Yeah.
And we'll say in this case, it actually does say Andrew Wagner owns this chibi right on the screen.
No, it says Sir Wagonston. That could be anyone.
That could be anyone.
Check out this guy. This is the guy. He is so. Remember when I showed you the last game where the chests fall and you open them? So if your chibi is more powerful and you're present in the multiplayer match, the chests will have much higher rewards. This guy is, he just plays, he played with me today. So he shows up on, if I need to use Discord. This game has a Discord, the Chibi Fighters Discord.
Yeah, a lot of blockchain games have a.
He shows up and he says, "Who wants to play with me?" And we all say yes, because he's basically our god now, our lizard god. You know, worship him and eat crystals shall rain upon you. And so we do. Today he made me 50 cents worth of Ethereum.
Oh, making it rain. Yeah, the bear market's really affecting a lot of our blockchain economics. Now we get happy over things like that.
Yes. Wolverine on Discord, and that's his username. All hail Wolverine if you're watching. Thank you for the shards.
It's actually funny, like even like even from a games perspective, like in the markets, when a coin goes up like 20 to 50%, people get like excited these days. And like, think back to exactly like a year ago. It was like, oh, it went 5x. It like went 500%. Maybe I'll get in for the next 1,000%. You know, like that was our logic back then. Now we're like, guys, Bitcoin 10% today. 10% was huge, man.
But they have a cool community, honestly.
Yeah.
I immediately joined Jimmy Fighter's Discord because I had a question, and some guy just immediately was like, "Yeah, want to join this multiplayer match with me?" Like what I was just talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll make you rich. Play with me."
Yeah, games live and die by community. They really do. Like the ones that, like when you like, I have my Discord list got out of control. I just keep the ones that I check regularly near the top, and there's like there's like 6 to 7 maybe at most. And like I noticed, like I'll still go through the full list every now and then and just kind of see where all of them are. And like you can just games really live and die by community, like activity, getting a few people that are like chatting a lot. That's like really how these games live and die. It's got to be fun enough to like bring people in that want to keep playing, and like it's got to be deep enough that you can actually have conversations about it.
And they like with the last minute game I showed you. Remember I said the more powerful the chibis are, the more the chests will drop. They're incentivizing us to enter the chat room and talk to each other. It's like, oh wait, they're making us do that by making it more efficient. So.
Yeah, I don't like the some games make you link your Discord name to your blockchain account to get like perks in the Discord or something, or to like unlock something. Like, oh, you wanted the beta? Well, you gotta like give like a little bit more data. Oh, yeah, you want the beta? Well, give me your data. It's that kind of thing, right? And you're like, oh man, I thought this is blockchain. Don't I control my data? And they're like, no, man, it's just for a game. Don't worry.
2 more mini games I'm going to show off, and then we're pretty much done, I think. These ones give you free ETH shards and coins. So it's like similar. This sounds bad. Anyone played Neopets? It's like so old. When I was a kid, we had Neopets.
Yeah.
But it's similar in that like they had mini games you could play that would lend resources this is that. He knows what I'm talking about. So one is called.
So who's are you collecting ETH shards or?
When you buy a character, the devs don't keep all of it.
Okay, so
some of it goes to the pool, which is redistributed. Yeah.
And I'm assuming that the price of ETH shards is just worth whatever, however
It's like
ETH shards is.
pegged, 32 to 1 ETH crystal.
And they have to have an economic system where they're only putting out as many as
It's zero sum. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's one of the mini games. Gotta click the coins. Give me your coins. I want the
you actually
coins.
got
Give
it
me
working.
the coins. Give me. I want them. It's very short, and I want them all.
All right. You got 27? Move.
Yeah. No, it won't let me play again. It comes on a timer.
Oh, it's one of those countdown ones.
Yeah. So this is the other one. This one's timer is less frequent, but it can give you not just coins, but shards.
Can I try?
Okay.
How do I do this one?
Left click makes your blink go up. Doing nothing makes it fall.
Is it Flappy Bird?
Oh, it's like that.
Don't run into stuff.
Is that Flappy Bird?
Only run into coins. I've never played Flappy Bird. Only run into coins and ETH crystals especially.
What do ETH crystals look like?
they're bluish and they like a crystal looking.
Yeah, rainbow, I assume.
The one that's not a coin, man.
The one that's not. I run into those things. Okay.
32 of them gets you an ETH crystal.
Okay, let's just do this. Okay, yeah, it's Flappy. Oh, I can go down a little more?
Don't hit that thing.
If one hit and I'm dead?
No, 3.
Oh,
Just it.
Ooh, good job.
Yeah, you like that?
That was huge.
Yeah. Oh, what, really? You're putting my thing down there?
Sometimes you should let one go, man. I've learned that.
But I got them all so far.
Sometimes you gotta be like,
Oh, you can see that shit? Oh, was that ETH crystal? It looked like a bomb.
Oh, it's a bomb, yeah. No, they're bombs. Don't touch the bombs.
I feel like I got a lot of...
The ETH crystals won't show up for another few hundred yards.
Oh, really? Is the red line my progress or my life?
Like,
Because
you must have touched something.
yeah, I did.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing well. The shards
shards might show up soon if there's any in the pool. Sometimes it's empty if someone played too.
Oh, wrecked so hard. Not anymore. No shards, no shards. I almost got 2,000.
It's possible the pool was empty. Let me check. Here we can check.
That was pretty good. Beginner's luck for sure.
That was great. Yeah. Yeah, I think the shard pool is empty.
Watching you play, everyone's just like, oh.
Yeah, because that was close, yeah. So there was a few close ones that were pure luck too, right? I was just like, he's like, oh, by the way, there was something there. That's good.
So normally, if I had gone to the hunt, my chibi would have entered a battle, which is similar to my crypto heroes. Would have been a battle you would have watched and not interacted with. But because ours is a baby, we'll always do that. I should have remembered and built the account an hour before the broadcast.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said we should prepare earlier, but it happens. Kind of fast and loose like crypto.
But you can see, when your chibi fights, it's the same concept, except chibi has no sound. The graphics are a little better. They scroll towards each other. Really graphics.
Yeah, they hack it away, and they're more animated.
Yeah, way more animated.
And you gotta think, sometimes the 8-bit feels like a bit of a cop-out. Go with the 8-bit. Sometimes it's not. It's also like that. It's still a lot easier to go with 8-bit.
Nostalgia factor.
Yeah, you go for nostalgia, but really, are you just skipping on development costs? Yeah, you never know.
I guess it's a balance.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all the games.
That was 4 games. That was pretty good. So I think we're gonna cut it off here.
And unless you guys have questions.
That's awesome.
Yeah, 3-1. So I think going forward, we're probably gonna still try and bring in live guests to show off their new games. But
Next month we have one.
next month we have one, and then the month after that, I think Coinfest is coming up real soon.
Yeah, we gotta figure that
And
out.
we're gonna have probably some big blockchain gaming stuff going on at Coinfest. We can get some demo booths and more things working. And this man is getting married.
Yes.
And
He's an ordained minister.
I will officiate the wedding.
The government has to respect it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a very special moment. I'm gonna make my kids to be the rings and stuff.
What? Can we do?
They're my
Talk about
kids. First, I can get them to carry rings. Well, actually, you know what? I don't want to make that claim. They can be difficult. But yeah.
Let's
So,
talk about your kids.
So more or less, we're gonna do a couple more with live guests. We'll probably do one with playing games maybe every 3 to 4 months because I think it works out pretty good. As long as there's some more games to play.
Yeah, when they come out. Anyway, broadcast out.
Yeah. All right. See you, everybody.